Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Folk, and welcome back to another episode of the Channel 256 News, brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. Today is September 11th. Bitcoin actually being able to make it past that $115,000 mark, peaking just about 20 minutes ago at 116,309. Awesome to see. Some great moves all across all markets today. We'll take a look here in just a moment at some of the index funds, but everything's closing in the green, with S&P even closing in a new all-time high. Over here, we got the Bitcoin net hash rate taking a little bit of a dip today, despite the positive price action coming out of Bitcoin. Some people unplugging today. My guess is it's some curtailment calls again. It is getting pretty warm. Here in Oklahoma, we got up to about 84 today, which might not sound like a lot to some of the Texans, but if it's 84 here, it's at least 90 over there in Texas. Over here with the price per petahash, rocking on $54.18 is a high today. Pretty cool to see. $54 sitting right now. Overall, if you're curious what this means, that this is how much Bitcoin you're earning in USD value per petahash, not including your electric rate. So cool to see for every petahash that people got plugged in right now. With this being a thousand thousands, we're looking at a million petahash right here. So $50 million being produced daily from Bitcoin mining. Awesome to see. Over here, what caused some of this positive price action today? We've got some CPI increase to 2.9 annually in August, a rise from July's 2.7 increase, basically showing that inflation data is going up, signaling that the Fed will be cutting rates next Wednesday. Huge to see. The market already has this priced in. We've been talking about it over the last couple of weeks, with that percentage over on Poly Market now up to 100% of price cuts, with 12% being a 50 point basis point cut. And we've got 80, 90, 82% thinking that we're going to get at least a 0.25% base decrease. Awesome to see. Mortgage rates fell to the lowest point in a year, down to 6.25% today. Taking a look actually at the index funds, we've got the Dow Jones back over $46,000, up 617%, or 617 points today, or 1.36%. S&P closing at a new all-time high at $6,587, up 55 points, or 0.85%. NASDAQ closing in on that 1% gain today as well, up 157 points. Even the Russell getting back above that $2,400 mark, only about $20 or $30 away from its all-time high. We're this close to breaking out, seeing Bitcoin be able to reach past that $115,000 mark, up to 116. You guys are future people. You know more than me. Hopefully nothing has changed too much over the last few hours. In case you guys are seeing this tomorrow, hopefully everybody woke up to some more green on their phone screens. Nice to see overall. Hopefully this is the signal that the markets are turning in our favor once again. Over here from the Bitcoin magazine, is this the end of paper Bitcoin summer? Is paper Bitcoin summer and the associated extractable premium and price coming to an end? I'm curious on what your guys' opinions are on all these Bitcoin treasury companies. However, we are starting to see some negative signs out of companies like MicroStrategy. As summer now turns to fall in the northern hemisphere, the stock coiner dream of quote-unquote Bitcoinizing finance is rapidly becoming a nightmare. The Bitcoin paper summit of issuing shares to clueless financial markets at, quote, extreme overvaluations to thereby buy Bitcoin on the cheap is ending, not with a bang of a success, but with a pretty unimpressive whimper. I have to agree. I mean, I've stated a few times over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing this for almost 2 weeks now, but I don't know why anybody is purchasing a treasury company when they could just be buying Bitcoin themselves and stacking sats. All I think this is the suits getting involved, learning about this magic internet money and wanting a piece of the pie and giving it to somebody that they're somewhat familiar with, being Michael Saylor for MicroStrategy. But if you look over here on the last month, down 18%. Insane. Last 5 days down 2%. The last day still down, not hardly anything today. And it looks like since the previous close, we are back above its previous close. So I don't know what's going to happen. I would imagine if Bitcoin does get another rally, that we do see strategy get back into those all-time highs. But I do think this next rally is probably going to be our final 5-wave parabola. If we do start to form it, if we can get out, we'll see what ends up happening. But Like I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, I know a lot of people are targeting that $250,000 price level. Personally, I'm thinking it's going to be much more conservative, around 135 to 150K. I know some people look at 150K as not conservative, and if you look at how low we got back after the whole FTX collapse of that 114, or not 114, excuse me, that 14 to $15,000 range, that's still a 10x from just a couple years ago. So people, you're going to be seeing more and more people saying it's just getting started. It's just getting started. I personally do believe that we are just on the tail end of this bull run, and personally, I'm excited about it. I've been in this market for about 6 years now, and I'm ready to start taking some profits off the table. Over here, yeah, just another thing from CoinDesk Strategies. S&P 500 snub is a cautionary signal for corporate Bitcoin treasuries from JP Morgan. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime JP Morgan comes out and says something negative, I personally assume they're buying. So take it as you will, showing you both sides of the kettle over here. So once again, not financial advice. I stay away from Bitcoin treasury companies because I can just go on my Coinbase account, buy some sats, send it over via Lightning to my Lightning wallet, and I've got burgers for the rest of my life over there at Steak and Shake. So no complaints on my end, but yeah, I am curious to hear on what your guys' opinions are on these Bitcoin treasury companies. Are you guys hodling? Are you still buying? Are you guys looking to exit soon? What are your guys' takes on it? Genuinely curious. Start to finish things off today, we've got BlackRock working on tokenizing funds tied to real world assets from Bloomberg. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, which has been making waves in the digital asset space, is reportedly looking to be bringing its exchange-traded funds on-chain, according to Bloomberg. This potentially includes tokenizing funds related to quote-unquote real-world assets, including stocks. Bloomberg senior crypto reporter Ugla, don't want to try and pronounce that, wrote Thursday, citing unnamed people familiar with the matter. The move would be subject to regulatory considerations. However, we did just see something a minute ago about some XRP and Solana ETFs being approved. I don't know if that was from the SEC specifically, or if it's listed on in a country outside of the SEC's supervision, or outside of the United States. Sadly, I do not have that pulled up right now. But as more news drops on that, we'll bring that up tomorrow. One last story from the crypto mag. These guys are really hating on Bitmain over the last few days. We've been covering some of Bitmain's litigious actions, but over here we've got Bitmain's U.S. Bitcoin mining footprint under scrutiny, a lawsuit to reveal inventory deployment. Basically, they're saying over here, as previously reported, between 2023 and 2024, customs recorded showing Bitmain imported more than 50 exahash of S19 XP machines to the United States in the months after 2024, having Bitmain rolled out more advanced models, but institutional demand for new rigs has not kept pace with Bitcoin's price gains as it had in previous bull runs. Overestimating. When you were buying a $10,000 S19 that was making $50 a day, Bitmain has not came out with a Bitcoin miner that has produced more than $20 at its drop point. Once it's dropped and it's been a month, it's 60-70% down from its initial projected daily income. Just more and more people plugging in. The efficiency increases that they're getting over there are just insane. So every time they come out with this new model, they're sending out 3-4 exahash worth of miners. People are plugging those in, making the difficulty go up. There's more people trying to get at the pie, and overall, they're making less money every day. I mean, when they're putting out these numbers, this is the first time that they've plugged it in. They're the only people with these chips that are this efficient. They're plugging it in. They're getting to reap all the rewards before the masses get their hands on it. I know in the past with the S9, S19, S17 series, they were running them for months before they initially released them to the public so they could gain on those coins as a burn-in period, which I believe they also got sued for in the past. I know today wasn't filled up with too much news, but I do hope you guys did still enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit that noti bell so you can always be notified when we're posting new content and going live. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.